Yes, sir. We back out here, another episode of the AWOL podcast. And shout out to everybody that been rocking with me. You already know what it is. Hit that like, share, subscribe. You already know what the hiatus is about. These episodes are sporadic. You feel me? Because life is life. And I'll dive into that later. But I just got off the phone with my comrade, and we had a funny conversation, but a real conversation. And it made me think about certain things. I wasn't even going to do this today, but that's the best part of me having all this stuff here. Thank the higher powers for that, because I could just hop up in here and talk my shit. Whether one person watches it, 100 people watch it, I don't care. Because these are just thoughts, right? I even had to get the black coffee out here. Shout out to Death Wish Coffee. You should be a sponsor, bro. I shouted you all like 30 times, man. Stop playing with me. Death Wish Coffee, hit me up. But I'm thinking about the conversation I have with my comrade and Kyrie Irving, Kanye West, religion. I just had one of the dopest episodes I had with my homies on religion. We didn't dive into that much because you can't just do religion for 2 hours, 3 hours, however long that was. This takes like a multiple episode thing. You feel me? You can't just do this. It's a lot. But there was much more that I wanted to get into, right? But I was satisfied and happy for how the conversation went, and I felt like it was going to go that way because all of them are my brothers. You get what I'm saying? So I was in the pocket because I love all of them. So it was like, oh, this is cool. But I didn't want to push back too much because once again, you can't force feed everything into one episode. And I ain't want to come off like that. That's not the goal. That's not the mission, right? On anything I'm doing. This is just, in my mind, logical stuff, right? That I'm like, yeah, what about? But I am super grateful for those Sword brothers that came here. I am super happy that the conversation went down the way it did. And I plan on having them back. Maybe I need more one-on-ones with them individually, because when you put that many people in a room, it is tough. I think the most I did was, you know what? I might have did 5 people. No, 4. Me plus 3. But that was me plus 4. So, you know, there's no producer. I don't got nobody on deck. I set everything up. I edit everything. So, and plus I'm living my life, so it ain't that easy. But no excuses, though. If I'm going to do this, I need to do a better job. Whether I got to hire somebody, whatever the case may be, it is what it is. That's on me. But with that being said, this thing that I'm doing, I started off a little bit extra, where I was like, yeah, I'm going to be so super consistent. And then I'm like, I feel like I'm falling into a mode of what they want, meaning they, whoever, the algorithm, the this, the that, right? And I'm like, I don't like that. I'm going to come on here and talk my ish when I want to talk my ish. I don't need to be, oh, you know, you got to go once a week. You got to hashtag this. These are the subjects that you should talk about because that's what's popping. Don't talk about this because you're going to get canceled. At first, I was like, I'm not doing that. And subconsciously, I fell into that trap where I was like, oh, once a week. Excuse me. That coffee hit hard. Pause. And then I also fell into the trap of, oh, let me be careful. And then I was like, I ain't getting paid for this. Who cares? Really? Who cares? Take it out. I'll turn this room into a gym room. I don't care. You feel me? I'm not going to pay. Ain't nobody watching this anyway. Shout out to the ones that are watching, though. I love y'all. I really do. I love y'all. But I'm saying, I'm not putting nothing on the map that the higher ups or the system is like, let's shut them down. Ain't nobody watching me that is important. You get what I'm saying? So I ain't worried about it. So I don't even care. But talking to my comrade, I started thinking about stuff, right? And I'm like, this world is a little wild right now. We got to admit, we have to admit, this world is a little wild right now. And I don't see where the correction is going to come from. I don't think it's the end of the world. Don't get it. I mean, Russia and Ukraine, something serious, right? That's another level. But I haven't done an episode because I am planning on an episode on people's ideas of the death penalty, because I have a point of view on the death penalty. And I don't know if social media, all my stuff that I posted on, because of the words, did they like flag my stuff because of the algorithm? You already know. The algorithm is a mark of the beast, and not in a religious sense, but just in the sense that if you ain't saying what they want you to say, they pushing it down. I don't know if the word death has something to do with it. I don't know what it was, right? But I asked the question, what were your thoughts on the death penalty? Only 2 people responded. 1 was a previous guest. 2 was my homie, shout out to him, who works with the Innocence Project, right? So of course he would, right, respond to that because he feel a certain way about it. He put in that work. So I want to do an episode on that. And the reason I haven't done an episode is because you can't have, at least on a solo joint with me, just whatever, I could, but it's not that easy. But I'm going to just read off some facts real quick. And then we're going to keep it moving. These are just some facts. And this is from the highcourt.co, right? I don't know this website like that. You could check me on the statistics, whatever. I'm just going off. I did some pretty good amount of research, but whatever. This is what the next episode I want to touch on. I don't know if I'm going to do it solo or I'm going to do it with somebody else. But let me just run off these facts of what I want y'all to think about. And I want y'all to hit me with a comment below on your thoughts on the death penalty. Yay, nay, don't like it for a reason. Don't like it for a reason, but you for it all the time, except this time. I need to know. I want to know what y'all feel. I want to know what your thoughts. I'm not judging anybody. I don't judge anybody over here. So let's just think about these couple of statistics. Once again, don't quote me on it because I ain't said shit. Between 2 to 10% of convicted individuals in the U.S. prisons are innocent. It's a pretty high percentage. 2,666 people have been exonerated in the U.S. since 1989. Proven innocent people have served more than 23,950 years in prison. Once again, I'm going to do that math. Proven innocent people, not maybe, no, proven innocent people have served more than 23,950 years in prison so far. Out of 100 sentenced to death, 4 are likely innocent, but only 2 get exonerated. 69% of wrongful conviction cases happen due to eyewitness misidentification. Let that sink in. False confessions account for 29% of wrongful convictions. Official misconduct, which is lawyers, judges, police, DAs, prosecutors, defense attorneys that just are collecting a paycheck, trying to earn their stripes. Official misconduct plays a part in 31% of murder exonerations. Think about that. official misconduct, not eyewitness. The eyewitness is 69%, which is wild, because who you getting? Jose from down the block? My homie Paco, who got a drug problem? Talk about, yeah, that look like him. Because he just got bagged last week. Listen, I'm not, come on, man. But the fact is, I could understand, I don't like the 69%, because that's crazy. But the 31% of murder exonerations happen. The reason why they get exonerated is due to official misconduct, which are people who are supposed to uphold the law and the Constitution. That percentage is way too high. False accusations are present in 70% of wrongful convictions. If these numbers do not alarm you, wild. The reason I brought this up and just giving you those stats right now and not going into this episode, that topic deeper, because it's beyond that. I'm still doing my research. I'm not trying to sound dumb, and I'm not trying to sound like Cornell West either. I'm not a scholar, so leave me alone. But doing this research does not make me feel good. It doesn't make me feel good at all. A couple of documentaries and the innocence. The system is goofed. But why is the system goofed? Because humans run it. And if humans are running the system and that's goofed, that means we are goofed. And I'm not putting myself outside of that because I have my faults. You get what I'm saying? Everybody has their faults. So I'm not holier than thou. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I know the way. I don't blame you for not knowing the way. But as a species, we are goofed. We are not perfect. The thing is, how do we move forward? And I feel like it boils down to the youth. What are we doing? A lot of people just talk a lot. A lot of people talk a lot, especially those in power. On a little tangent on Kyrie and Kanye, I don't know. I know what they talking about, but I don't know what I don't know what their motives are. It's always millionaires, always got a problem, right? They secure the bag, they get millions, all of a sudden they wake up, it's up, right? After they secured the money though. You wasn't talking like this when you was getting the bag. And maybe you securing the bag made you realize that the game is crooked and it's rigged. And then you realize like, oh, I should say something. But you ain't say nothing when you was on the way to getting the bag. You waited till you got the bag. And now you're trying to say, this is what's wrong with the world. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I find it odd that everybody that ever makes it, like these rich people, talk about when the pandy hit and they was like, yo, rock your coverings. Don't go outside. Get your, I don't want to say that because you already know how to, I don't give a fuck. Get your shots. Save everybody else. Bro, you live in the hills of Hollywood, Beverly, Malibu, in a mansion with an infinity pool, with a 5-star chef on deck, and you telling me don't go outside. What are you fly private, and you telling me go to the airport with a covering on my grill. That's wild. We don't live the same life. Stop being holier than thou. Why you out here? You're not preaching to the choir. I don't live your life. Now, I'm not saying those people of that stature don't have the right to speak their mind. They do. But do not act that we live the same life, because that is wild to me. Do not act like we live the same life. That's like somebody who makes $30 an hour and lies. It says, I make $50 an hour. Bro, you make $30 an hour. You're already winning. Why you lying to make 50? I can understand if somebody made $10 an hour and they said, yo, I make 20. It makes sense. I could see that. You know, you're trying to come up. But if you make 30 and you lie and say you make 50, that don't make no sense. But that could work in the reverse. Don't be in your infinity pool with your millions talking about everybody be safe, wear a mask, get your shots, don't go outside, don't party. Bitch, you sitting on millions. Talk about don't go out. My kid need food. I don't know about you, I gotta get this money, which is crazy. So that's that tangent, right? I veered off. I know I'm here, there. It's just everything that I'm witnessing, right? But this is everything that's going around. And our youth are seeing this. The kids are seeing this, right? And then it falls on us. Like I said, I don't know what Kyrie and Kanye, I know what they talk about, but I kind of don't know what they talking about. You ain't saying no names. You saying these people. What people, fam? Let me know the lawyer. Let me know the record label. Let me know the A&R. Let me know the accountant. So I know, and your people could know, not to sign with them. But you just saying them. Who the fuck is them? Say some names, fam. Shout out to Lex Friedman podcast too. I might even hashtag his name out here. But then that'll be cloud chasing. I'm not going to do that. But anyway, say some names. Who is who, bro? Just say Berkowitz is trash and he made me sign a bad contract. Cool. Don't sign with Berkowitz. And I won't do it. But if you're just saying them, who's them? If you say they run the world, that means I can't sign any contract? That's nice for somebody that secured the bag already. But I'm trying to secure the bag. So I'm signing whatever. I'm not, but I'm saying, you know what I mean? For sake of argument. Say who it is. Shout out to Lex Friedman for putting that out there. That was one of the dopest conversations because he's the only one that could really push back because he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Kanye say something crazy, you always get choked out unless you got security. Different story. But Lex ain't afraid of nothing. But anyway, so with all that, I don't understand. It just sounds like a lot of, and I listened to Farrakhan's message today. I watched 55 minutes and 61 seconds, I believe, of Farrakhan's speech on Kyrie and Kanye. And Farrakhan is Farrakhan. What are we going to say, right? Farrakhan's Farrakhan. He going to say what he say. We already know the motive. We already know the concepts of everything. You feel me? Like, we already know what angle he going to come from, which I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying we know what the angle is. And said some powerful stuff. Maybe sound watered down a little to me, but not really. But I ain't want no extra. I don't want no call for violence. That's crazy, right? I mean, I love it, eye for an eye to a certain aspect of it, but we don't need to do that. Violence is crazy. That's like last resort. I feel like we should talk it out. There's got to be a way to work this out. And that's the problem with humans. We come from a level of hunter-gatherers and maybe even more civilized societies before us as hunter-gatherers. Our DNA traces back to making fire and everything else. But there's a potential that could have been a higher society before us that built the pyramids, that did all this extra stuff, some things that ain't even explained 11,600 years ago. Ain't even explained. And all of a sudden, they could have passed that knowledge, some cataclysmic event. Now there's hunter-gatherers in a cave coming out, which is probably our society, right? Building the wheel, learning how to make fire, everything else. But these other societies that happen to survive, that evolved to that level, tell us, because we were more than them, because we were already hunter-gatherers, to go, this is how you make fire. This is how you build a structure. And then Society goes on. It's 2022. 1820 to 1920 sounds, nothing really changed. 1920 to 2020, come on. Think about phones, whips, electric cars, FaceTime, going to outer space allegedly, right? A lot has changed. So, since a lot has changed in a recent time, imagine what another 400, 500,000, 10,000 years. If we don't murk each other with nuclear weapons or greed, right? Who knows what can happen? Everything in the universe happens for a reason. The cycle continues. This planet is going to be here for forever, I feel like, unless something wild happens. But I'm saying it's just a cycle of life. We don't know. Nobody really knows what went down, what's gonna go down. But we have to live in today. And I'm already going on 21 minutes, and I just wanted to jump in here real quick because of the conversation with my comrade and how the world is going right now and how wild stuff is out here. Heard of Bodega got robbed on Market Street, wild boy stuff, right? And it's wild to me because we beefing over dumb stuff, right? We think about Bobby Shmurda, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Kanye, Kyrie Irving. I get them. Let them do what they do. But you know what really matters is what your daughter or your son is watching right now. What they see in the household. I don't have kids, so I ain't telling you how to raise your kids. What I'm saying is, the world is not fair for mostly everybody. You heard the statistics that I read, and that's from 1989 till present. And I think that article was 2 years old, maybe even 3, 2019, right? Oh, my fucking back. So the world is not fair. I feel like as a species, I don't care what color you are, I don't care what religion you are, we beefing over what religion is right and what religion is wrong. Because we could dive into religion. We could dive into a sacred burning bush. We could dive into mushrooms and maybe all religions are false and it's just a higher society that came down and we just stashing their stories of a sacred mushroom in a book of religion. But in reality, it's hallucinogenics. Who knows? Maybe everybody was tripping on shrooms and that was the key to enlightenment. And it isn't about religion, but you can't steal my ideas because we got to be smarter than the rest because we want power. We need to protect the cave, etc. So who knows what anything is doing, but the fact that we're not getting along is a problem. And that's my biggest thing. I don't care if you're Christian, Catholic, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, atheist, agnostic, a Tekashi fan. If you're not a Sean Price fan, you out the cave, fam. I ain't messing with you. I don't care. It's Sean Price, duck down boot camp for life. Other than that, we cool. I don't care, right? And I feel like, and once again, I don't have kids, disclaimer. But what I'm saying is, other than us beefing over these minuscule, redundant little arguments that everybody's having, we need to find out if your neighbor has water. Does your neighbor have food? Is his heat on? Does Shorty need help bringing the bags inside? Does Abuela need help crossing the street? You get what I'm saying? Is an innocent kid playing? Do you want to give her $5 for having a little play date by a little outdoor little playhouse she got? Just be nice. But the thing that corrupts all of us is money, power, wealth, the accumulation of materialistic things. And I fall to that as well. from the material things that I have. I try to balance it out by being nice, but that don't mean you can't buy a couple motorcycles. Hey, no harm, no foul. Feel me? I like my shit. But depends where your heart is at. So this is just a quick one. I just think I'm going to get into this death penalty and wrongful convictions on the court system, because the reason that I wanted to touch on that for a minute, but then the Parkland shooting, he got life without parole, but not the death penalty, and the family was mad. And I just have an issue with the death penalty due to the fact of some people are innocent. And I forgot the English novelist that said it is better for 10 guilty men to go free than one innocent man to serve time. Do the math. I kind of butchered it, but it is better for 10 guilty men to go free. Oh, here we go. It is better for 10 guilty men to go free than one innocent man suffer. Let that sink in for a second. It is better for 10 guilty men to go free than one innocent man suffer. That's deep. And that is a concept that every human has to ponder on and potentially struggle with the idea of it. But to each his own. So with that, I love y'all. Everybody be nice to each other. Life is short. Protect your kids. Love everybody. The youth is the future. And with that, I'm going to just hit y'all with this. Shout out to Oscar Brown Jr., OG in the game. And yeah, I love y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Shameless plug. Like, comment below on the judicial system and the death penalty. I want to know y'all. I want to know your thoughts and ideas. So when I touch back on this subject, because I'm gonna come out here with notebooks, because I'm gonna do this justice. It might be a long joint by myself, but see what it is. But with that being said, let me know down below what it is. Hit that like button. Share it with the fam. Tell them to subscribe if they want that free speech convo until they can't get it no more, because who knows what they gonna do to me. But whatever. Here nor there. I'm going to leave y'all with this, and I love y'all.
So nice he had to come back twice. Please welcome a gentleman who's been doing this thing for over 50 years, a singer, a playwright, and also a deaf poet. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the Windy City's very own Oscar Brown Jr.
Children of children. It is deep. Dang, he got some bangers, yo.
The children of children, by the time they're half grown, have habits like rabbits and young of their own. The children of children from their mama's laps hop down to the ground to be taken in traps. The children of children are trapped by dark skins to stay in and play in a game no one wins. The children of children, while still young and sweet, are all damned and programmed for future defeat. The children of children are trapped by adults who fail them, then jail them to hide the results. The children of children, unable to cope with systems that twist them and rob them of hope. The children of children of sin and the shame keep pairing and bearing, and who do you blame? The children of children cry out every day. They beg you for rescue, and what do you say?
Sheesh. AWOL podcast. You already know what it is. I love y'all. I'm out of here.